What's going on, you guys? This is my October trading review. So right now I'm about, since towards the end of May, I've been a student in the Tim Sykes Millionaire Challenge, and I've been day trading since around April of 2019, and things are going pretty good. I'm running on 4 months of profitability now. From July to now, I've just had all green months, which is good, and things are definitely picking up the pace. So this is my record month, and I'm very happy with that. At the same time, I know exactly what I need to do to get to that level of being a six-figure trader, which I know I could be, maybe even by next year. So the best part about this month is that I'm pretty much closing in on my salary. So the money I made is right around what I used to make when I was working full time. So right now I'm still working part-time, and even though I did make some mistakes towards the end of the month, I came through. I was doing really good with options. I was capitalizing on dip buys, and I was trying to keep my mistakes to a minimum. So I was actually up about 2,700 going into the last week, and then similar to September, how I kind of like pissed it away in the last week. I knew it was coming, but I kind of stayed in control, so I didn't lose like a grand like I did in the September in the last week. I ended up losing maybe around 600-700, and that was mostly due to a poor choice in options. So in typical fashion, we'll go through my best and my worst trades. We'll do a little bit of comparison to the previous months and how they stack up, and then we'll just wrap up with some thoughts going forward. So I hope you enjoy this video. Give it a like and subscribe if you want to continue keeping up with my journey as a Tim Sykes student and as someone who's trying to become a six-figure trader. Thanks for watching. What's up, you guys? Sorry for the delay of this video. It's November 5th. I was hoping to get this out within the first few days of November, but just everything went crazy with the whole election going on, and my trading has been pretty weak this week. Just been in a little bit of a rut lately, but let's go over those trades for October. I'm going to try to keep this quick because I know the last couple of month reviews are like 20-30 minutes. So let's just go through the worst trades first. So pretty much what ate up from most of my profits for the month were two options trades, and what ended up happening was with JKS, the thing was just going crazy. I pretty much took it when I thought it was getting toppy right here, and then the next day it looked to be going lower, but then it just kind of squeezed up, and every day it was just squeezing up. And I had taken it on a Friday with expiration for the Friday after, so I'm like, at this height, this thing is gonna drop, very likely gonna drop by the next week. And as you can see, it didn't. It just kept going, just went supernova. And I pretty much held them until they were worthless. I sold one for 30 cents, another for 10, and another for 5, and I just let that last one just go worthless. And they were $1.65. Two of them were $1.60, and I had 4. So I ended up taking a $611 loss on that. And the same thing happened with DKNG. DKNG was one that I kind of just copied Mark in the Evolve Trader off. He was doing a webinar, and he jumped in on that. So this one I honestly wasn't expecting. This one looked like it was bottoming out. So it wasn't like JKS, which was just going crazy. This one was usually something I'm really good at, like taking dips. It looked like it was bottoming out. I'd taken my option on the green day into strength. I didn't mind taking it into strength on the daily chart. On the intraday, sorry. So right here, it was going up. It looked to be holding strong, so I was hoping for a next day gap up and for it to continue and start curling up. And it was holding this previous breakout area well. So I'm like, it's a good likelihood, and it had news, so it's a good likelihood. And this was the same thing as JKS. I bought it on a Friday with expiration for the next Friday. So I'm like, we got time. Well, actually, it was a Thursday. I got it on a Thursday with expiration for the Friday after. So when it just faded the Friday morning, even though it gapped up, it faded. I didn't let that deter me from holding the trade, because I was trying to see the big picture of it just curling next week. And then Monday, I believe the overall markets were weak as well in the last week of October. But from Monday, this thing just it got wrecked. Got completely destroyed, and I was not expecting that. I was just and I ended up holding it till it was worthless. And again, this one was a $1.80. I took 3 originally. I was gonna take 4 like JKS. Then I sized down 3. I should just size down to 2, and I ended up with the $544 loss. So net 2,200 would have been over 3,200, over 3,300 with. So I pretty much gave away over like 30%, 33% of my income with just holding auctions till they're worthless. Still ended up with my best month though, but it's good to know that what was the reason so that I could keep getting even better months. And then all my other losses I kept relatively small, which is good. 115, 108, so I'm really happy with that. In terms of my biggest gains, I've been doing really well, which is why I had my best month. Because if you look at my highest overall gains of the year, and this is pretty much all the time because I didn't have gains as big as this last year, you'll see that a bunch of October plays ended up being some of my most profitable trades on the year, which is very good. And a lot of them also came from playing options. And what happened was I was really capitalizing on the dips with the QQQ, scaling into dips, scaling in and out. A lot of times I was too early. So one thing I need to, and this has been a trend since the summer, like being too early on the dip. But the good thing is that I was taking small size as I was scaling into these dips. Small size and going in and out. Right here, very nice. Just following the dips. The QQQ, what I liked was at this time, it was just, this was when it started downtrending, but you would still get these crazy bounces every day. And I got in the habit of just knowing that it had so much strength. It was like a rubber band. It was bouncing back each time. And like the dips are so solid. Like they're very obvious to see like where the bottom is. They weren't like super grindy, and they bounced very quickly as well, which is what I really liked. And I made sure I capitalized. And then WKHS was another dip. This one I'm not really satisfied with though, because I started going in way too early. I got in right here because I thought this was the bottom and it was going to start coming up after it was getting like completely wrecked on the daily. And I know how strong WKHS could be, how much strength it has, all these buyers. So I knew it couldn't just keep going down just like that. But what happened was, you should never have this expectation, because I tried to get into strength. Then I was adding kind of early. I was adding early because I didn't think it was going to go back to this low day. Then it just got completely wrecked. So I was adding here, but my average was pretty bad. So I should just cut here and then took bigger size. It would allow me to take bigger size here and just swallow that loss. But we did get the gap up. Very nice gap up, and ended up being one of my best trades of the month. Again, this one was very risky though, and I'm not too satisfied because of how early I scaled in, and it kind of ended up being a little bit of a hope and hold. But yeah, continuing to dip buys. LKNCY was another dip buy. This one I'm not too happy with because, again, I started to scale in too early. I started scaling in here the 5s, which made it hard to get a nice low average and prevented me from taking size near the bottom where it really mattered. So I need to work on perfecting my dips. It's really hard. Like since summer, I've been saying I need to perfect this, but it's like I'm trying to find the balance between cutting losses early, but not cutting them too early that I get faked out and then it moves without me. So keeping some size, chipping off the extra size on the way down, so I'm not ending up with too high of an average. So if let's say my max size is like 8,000 shares and I start off with like a couple thousand starter, if I have like 5,000 shares but it still has a lot more to go down, I have to cut at least 2K, and then I'll have space to add 6K near the bottom. But basically, the bigger size I have, the more I should cut, the more determined I should be to cut the losses, and with smaller size, I should be more comfortable scaling in. Also important to note that up to the 23rd, or before, up to the 21st actually, well, never mind, but in the last week of October, that's when really I fell apart. So let me go to the reports here so you could see what I'm talking about. So similar, so since September, what happened was I made like over $2,000 in 1 week, but actually I think it was like 1800 US. And then the next week I had given up over half away. It completely fell apart, and that always happens. I'll have an amazing week or amazing day, then I just completely reverse my progress the next day. With this, that didn't happen, which I'm happy with. Like, I had this crazy week here, and then I didn't completely fall apart, because here I had a losing day. The numbers were smaller, but it was really this day that with the options that really screw everything up. So I'm glad I was able to hold my composure till last week and not just completely wreck all my progress. And going forward, definitely not trying to hold options until expiration. Need to get better with my dips. Right now I'm in a really bad, like I said earlier, I'm kind of in a rut. It's really messing me psychologically. I'm hoping to get through that. It's still the first week in November, so we got some time. And let me know what your trading was for October. I hope it's been going good. Let's finish the year strong. Be back soon.
Pushing to the limit and we ain't gonna touch the brake.